Welcome back, adventurers, to Let's Play Sentinels of the Multiverse. In the previous episode, we took on Jack Donovan, also known as Spite, the transhuman serial killer at the heart of Rook City. And, long story short, we were ruthlessly crushed and defeated just as we were with the chairman. However, we will be moving on. We will face Spite and the chairman again later, but now we're moving on to the Infernal Relics expansion of Sentinels of the Multiverse. The first villain we're going to be fighting in this new expansion, in this next expansion I should say, not new expansion, is Akash'Bhuta, who appears to be at first glance an elemental manifestation of the natural world. However, as it says on her character card, she is in fact a chaos-bound creator. She is a difficulty 2 villain, but one of the hardest. In fact, she has, well, one of the more difficult difficulty 2s. She actually has the most health. She has 200 health, but which makes her a very formidable opponent indeed. Now, the heroes I'm going to select for this one, first off is one of the new heroes in Infernal Relics, which is the Argent Adept, who is Virtuoso of the Void, who is a musician that fights against the power of chaos with his instruments of the other virtuosos, and he is also the nemesis of Akash'Bhuta, as you can see with the character icon. Now, as I was saying, the lineup of heroes I'm going to be choosing this time is different. We're actually going to be taking a hero from the next expansion, which I believe is Wrath of the Cosmos. I'm going to be bringing along Captain Cosmic as the second hero for this battle. He has very interesting powers. He draws his energy from the cosmic fabric of the universe, hence his name, Captain Cosmic. Third, I believe we're going to be bringing along Fanatic. Next we're going to be bringing along Haka, and finally the Inhuman Tempest. Now the reason I'm doing this is because this particular lineup of heroes is known throughout the multiverse, or will soon be known at this point, as the Prime Wardens. Heroes who have banded together to defend the Prime Earth of the and the Prime Worlds of the multiverse from the other timelines and villains and so on and so forth. But first, I actually have to unlock each of the Prime Wardens because I don't have their Prime Wardens variants at the moment. As you can see there. In order to do this, the way to unlock the Prime Wardens, you have to unlock them in order. And in order to do that, first you have to lose, then you have to unlock Argent Adept, Captain Cosmic, Fanatic, Haka and Tempest. Now in order to unlock Argent Adept's Prime Wardens variant, we had to lose. The Prime Wardens had to lose a battle against Akash'Bhuta, which I did a while ago off screen. And now we actually have to defeat her, which is no small task. And we're going to be fighting her once again in the land of Insula Primalis, because she has taken root there, if you can already tell from her character portrait. So anyway, the Prime Wardens are going to be fighting Akash'Bhuta in the wilderness of Insula Primalis. Now the Singing Magician. I've eaten many of your kind, you're next. Your ageless chaos shall not destroy this world in this age. There is Akash'Bhuta standing next to a river of lava. Akash'Bhuta is an interesting villain, to say the least. She's interesting in the fact that she actually manipulates the depending on the environment. Whenever an environment target enters play, she gets the top card of her deck is played. Whenever a villain target enters play, the top card of the environment deck is discarded. And of course, when the environment trash is shuffled, she flips. She can only do this once per turn. We're going to try and deal as much damage to her as we can. Of course, being a creature of the elements is going to be a fairly difficult task. Mountainous Carpus, one of the first of many primal limbs. And there goes the T-Rex. Just to have a closer look at that. Primeval limbs are probably our best way of dealing damage to Akash'Bhuta, because when they're destroyed, they deal their health as damage to Akash'Bhuta. However, they have different abilities. The Carpus reduces damage dealt to Akash'Bhuta by 1. So instead of we do ultimately want to go after her directly, but we want to destroy her Carpus first. Now, Argent Adept is one of the more complex heroes. He relies on his instruments or the other virtuosos of the void to win his battles and fight his battles as well. Instrumental Conjuration allows us to search for one of these instruments and draw a card. Searcho of Frost and Flame, which is a melody card. He has 3 types of cards. He has melodies, he has rhythms, and I believe he has harmonies as well. These cards have 2 different abilities, such as the Perform ability, and there's a second ability that's called an Accompany. He's got 2 of those, and there's Syncopated Onslaught, which is a rhythm, which has both Perform and Accompany. His base power, Vocalize, activates a Perform text, but he needs a certain chain of instruments in order to use some of the Accompany abilities. So I think what we're going to do is use the Instrumental Conjuration to search for one of the instruments. He has 6 instruments in total. Akpanku's Drum, which activates the Accompany text, which activates rhythm cards and which deals with rhythms and melodies. Drake's Pipes, which is one of his more favorite weapons, instruments, which activates 2 different melodies. Ideza's Horn, which activates a melody and a harmony. Ragni's Harp, which activates both texts of a harmony card. Telemon's Lyra, which activates harmonies and rhythms, and Zoo's Bell, which activates rhythms, either one or both texts of the rhythms and one of a harmony. So we've got 2 melodies and a rhythm. So melody and rhythm are the ones we want. I think we'll get the drum for now. There's Rhapsody of Valor, which is good for healing. I'm not as good. Probably should have played one of the cards first, but I'd like to get a rhythm and one of his instruments in play. Can't really do anything at the moment, so I'm gonna end there and draw an Inventive Preparation, which is another rhythm card. Next up to bat is Captain Cosmic. He specializes in construct cards which are composed of the energy of the cosmos. Conservation of energy. We don't have any constructs in play right now, so Harsh Offense, which gets rid of the top 3 cards of his deck and deals damage of the equal to the number of constructs times 2. And all cards go to trash. Vitality Construct, which is good for shielding some of our heroes. And Wounding Buffer, which is useful for retaliation. I'm gonna play the Vitality Construct against Tempest for now. Then we can use his base power of Fabrication, which allows him to look at the top card of his deck and either play it or put it into his hand. Augmented Ally. We could use that. It may force us to discard a card, but if they do, they get to play a power immediately. I think I might play it next to Haka, so you can deal quite a bit of damage. And there's another Harsh Offense, which we could put to good use. Although this is a bit of a slow first turn, really. Let's see here. Fanatic is Chastise, Divine Focus, Embolden, and Wrathful Retribution. Not a good opening hand. Could use Embolden either on Haka or Tempest. I'm probably gonna say Haka. Of course, we need to start dealing out some damage to the Carpus, so Fanatic will be dealing 2 damage. And finally, Absolution, which we had that at the start, but oh well. Glad that we've got it. Augmented Ally can get rid of Ground Pound. So he can use his power right away to smash that Carpus. Could use Dominion to draw. Well, Dominion's probably not going to help us too much because of Akash'Bhuta's unique nature. Anyway, there's a Vitality Surge. Fortunately, since he's already used both his powers this turn, why not? Haka can take two radiant damage so that he can use more powers. Oh, he gives nothing. Lightning Slash to get rid of the Carpus and deal some amount of damage to Akash'Bhuta. A whopping 10 damage. Of course, we can now start whittling away her health, but not by much. I wonder if Insula Primalis will be as forgiving as it was last time. Obsidian Field increases all damage. It's not entirely a good card, but not entirely a bad one. Oh, Disrupt the Field. That is an obnoxious card. Oh, Entombed. Deals everyone damage. And the Raptors get to come out to play. Because of that, she gets another primeval limb, Living Rock Slide, which is going to be dealing us damage until we get rid of it. So each non-villain target is taking 3 damage. Yeah, watch out for falling rocks, especially if those falling rocks come from Akash'Bhuta. Still not entirely a bad few turns. Inventive Preparation would be good for playing cards, but we don't really have anything that useful. Could use Syncopated Onslaught to increase damage. Probably a good idea. So the Argent Adept will use his powers of singing to increase the damage of both Haka and Tempest. So he can do some extra damage. Fortunately, Captain Cosmic's constructs have a health of 4, so they will take damage. Could use a harsh offense to deal some damage to the rock slide. Oh, only 2. That wasn't good. Never mind, we're still doing alright. Sustained Influence. Whenever a construct is destroyed, you can put that card back, destroy this card back to put it back into play. Should be quite useful, and another wounding buffer. Meanwhile, Fanatic will ready herself for battle with Absolution. And continue to go after that Living Rock Slide. Yeah, destroying the primeval limbs is perhaps our only best chance of dealing significant damage to Akash'Bhuta. We still have to worry about that Entombed. Get rid of Punish the Weak. Can draw a card by getting rid of by using Mere. During intercession, don't think we need to worry about environment damage. Might as well throw out Dominion just in case. And we want to get rid of the... Much as I want to deal damage to the Velociraptors, we're going to get rid of the Living Rock Slide so we can deal another 10 damage to Akash'Bhuta. And Haka of Battle. Things are looking up. Definitely they're looking more up than the off-screen battle that I had with Akash'Bhuta. Unfortunately, we need to. We don't really have anything to deal with in Tomb. Although actually we can. We've got Into the Stratosphere, which will get rid of it, bounce it back, and deal some damage to her. So basically, get rid of the Velociraptors so that Haka can draw a card. Rampage. Another useful card. And another Lightning Slash. This is definitely starting to look up. Oh, River of Lava. Get rid of an equipment card. Any hero that doesn't takes 5 fire damage, that is that is rather unfortunate. We can afford to. It's a risk we're gonna have to take. It's probably gonna regret this, but don't want to destroy any of our equipments at the moment, especially those of Argent Adept, because he is very equipment heavy, and getting him his different songs set up is a bit of a chore in and of itself. What to choose. Do I heal or do I use inventive preparation? Or I could use the Shozos. Yeah, I haven't started with the best hand for Argent Adept, and I'm not really good with them either. I know there's some people that have mastered his synergies and have a better understanding of how to chain his cards together so that it can be really effective. And I think for now we just want to do some damage, which is about all we can do at this point. So we're going to use the drum to deal Akash'Bhuta 2 sonic damage. Then we can use the Serzo to deal some more damage, some cold and fire damage. There's Living Arcadence, which is an interesting way of getting cards for Argent Adept, but proved to be quite useful. Actually, I should see if how many. There are 2 constructs in play. And throw a wounding buffer next to Fanatic so that she can deal with some retaliatory damage. While Cosmic uses fabrication to he's got wounding buffer, augmented ally, and vitality construct. Actually, I might destroy that and deal her 5 damage. And we could just use that to get it back. It's interesting. And because we did that, we can now deal 5 damage, energy damage, because he's always dealing energy damage because he's Captain Cosmic. Cosmic weapon, which will also serve as a nice addition to Fanatic's arsenal. But we want to equip her Aegis of Restoration, just in case she takes quite a bit more damage. Of course, if she does take damage, then she'll retaliate with a wounding buffer. I'm actually going to get rid of the intercession and use the melee to be able to draw another card while still dealing damage. Tomoko, which is good. And we're going to use Haka of Battle to get some more cards. Another Tomoko and another Rampage. Can get rid of Tomoko and probably the Vitality Surge. Definitely going to keep the 2 Rampages and the Elbow Smash. So he only gets a damage increase of 2 for now, but 2 is plenty. Any amount of damage that we deal at this point is going to be important. Although could use otherworldly resilience to deal to her, but no, instead we'll just keep whittling her health down. So lightning slash it is. Well, we've cut 50 health off her, which is very impressive, but not impressive enough. Gene-bound shackles, and those could come in very useful against Akash'Bhuta since she has a lot of health. I guess we might as well discard the top 2 cards of our deck in order to get rid of River Lava, otherwise it's just going to keep dealing us damage. And Haka gets to draw a card in the process. There's another Velociraptor pack, which means that Akash'Bhuta gets Primeval Eruption. Good news, we have more primeval limbs to deal with. Bad news is we have more primeval limbs to deal with. Because they all have their own unique abilities. Oh, Earth Sacrifice. Blows up all our ongoings, and unfortunately for Argent Adept, all his melodies are ongoings as well. Yeah, that's rather unfortunate. Might as well get rid of the vitality, lose the vitality construct. I think this is where the tide starts to turn, because we take 5 damage from Entomb, because we don't really have anything to get rid of ongoings at this point. There goes Wounding Buffer. If we can just get rid of the flanges and the rock slide, we can deal another 20 damage to her, which is, well, there's some more primeval limbs. Snaring Brambles, which locks the weakest hero from doing anything. Another Arboreal Flanges. Oh, so she's going to deal us some more damage. She's going to deal us 8 damage at the end of her turn. Oh, that is... and disrupt the field. Destroys all environments. Plays the top card of her deck in the environment. Oh, it's only the non-hero with the highest health. So somebody is going to get killed. And Akash'Bhuta flips because the environment trash was shuffled into the deck. There's another obsidian field, which is unfortunately not good for us since it's her turn. Yeah, that's really rather unfortunate. It should show you this side, Avatar of Destruction. This time, whenever a villain, whenever an environment target is destroyed instead of played, she plays the top card. Whenever a villain target is destroyed, the environment card is discarded. As opposed to her, the way her previous side works. There she is in Molten Lava. Oh, it was going so well for us in the beginning, and now it's all falling apart. To be honest, I didn't really have the best hand for Argent Adept in particular, because he's one of the more complex heroes to set up, even more than Absolute Zero. Don't need Argent Adept dealing damage right now, so he's not going to be dealing damage. Unfortunately, that didn't really help at all. That was brutality at its finest. Arcane Cadence allows us to see the top 5 cards, put one of them into hand, one on the deck, one at the bottom, one in the trash, and play one. And if you can already tell, we've got another Arcane Cadence, so we can do this fun process all over again. Got Zoo's Bell in our hand. Zoo's Bell, Inspiring Supertonic, which allows the hero to use power, or Adept regains 2 health. Counterpoint Bulwark, which is damage reduction. Vernal Sonata. Each person gains 1 health and can put a card other than this on top of their deck. I want that to hand. I want the instrument on top of the deck. I could have I didn't really think this through. Probably could have had... I also have the bulwark at the bottom. Yeah, as you can already tell, I'm not very good at using Argent Adept. So we'll use the other Arcane Cadence to see if we can get anything else useful. And there's a third one. Sadistic Dissonance. Blows up an instrument and you can destroy any one card in play, other than character card. So this is useful in actually getting rid of the rid of those. So I wonder if we do need the bell. Because we have a lot of stuff to work with. Oh, we could put the bell in the trash because we've got instrumental conjuration right on top of the deck. Oh, gonna end up playing another Arcane Cadence again. So 3 Arcane Cadences right off the bat, which is not very good. I might get another Sonata back into hand. Got Silver Shadow. Activates in the company text. Either draw or play a card now. And there you can see the Prime Wardens there. Nope. That card went on the top. Syncopated Onslaught or Saraband of Destruction. Gonna put the Conjuration on the bottom. Onslaught in the trash, and there's the Onslaught just in case even though that's probably not going to be that useful. Yeah, don't think I handled that very well. But there's the Silver Shadow, and I think it's safe to say that we're not going to win this fight again, because it's not been a good fight. Cosmic Weapon. No, we've lost our construct, other constructs. So I might give that to Fanatic for now. This had been going well in the beginning, but it's ultimately started falling apart. Construct Cataclysm, which would be useful in dealing damage if we actually had constructs in play. Fortunately, that only deals damage to 1, so, well, we have nothing to lose, so we use that against, might as well use that against the Akash'Bhuta. Could have destroyed one of her primeval limbs, but we wanted to deal more damage, not that it's going to help anyway. Now if we could get rid of all of these, we'd be able to deal some significant damage, but we can't. Might as well throw out a rampage. Do a lot of indiscriminate damage. Unfortunately, we're going to hit ourselves as well. Now we can get rid of one of the flanges to deal some damage. Haka shielding and savage mana. Use otherworldly resilience to reduce damage to Tempest, and now everyone gets dealt damage. We've fought a valiant battle against the might of Akash'Bhuta. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. Could get rid of the drum. Might get rid of Absolution and the melee. Unfortunately, Cosmic and Tempest are not going to survive this. Oh no, Tempest did survive this, but it's a moot point because Akash'Bhuta is going to finish us off this turn anyway. And there's Entomb, but it's a moot point because here comes the Akash'Bhuta's Living Rock Slide, which is going to get rid of the rest of the Prime Wardens, even though Fanatic still has her Aegis of Restoration. She's still in play, but she can't deal damage because she's the only hero in the game. The only power she can use is her damage. But well, of course she can't do damage, unfortunately. Which is probably a bit of a waste. Actually might go back to Argent Adept. Try something else. Well, by try something else, I mean not much, just 1 health. Go through out Undaunted. Fanatic's personal damage reduction. And she's not going to do anything because she can't do damage anyway. Consecrated Ground, which would also be good at getting rid of... now we have ongoing destruction, and it's not going to help us in the slightest. Although we might. But ongoing destruction, it's just going to... unfortunately not going to deal any damage, but it's going to get rid of the entomb. Unfortunately, I believe that oh, that's melee damage. That's projectile damage. Could make her immune to melee damage. Oh no! I didn't see. I clicked too soon. Melee damage is that one. Click lightning by mistake. Yes, she's going to discard 3 cards. Pterodactyl Thief, which is an annoyance, or would be an annoyance, but not now. Because the Akash'Bhuta is once again bringing out her primeval limbs. No. Yeah, this would actually be a great time for mass destruction of her primeval limbs. Unfortunately, we're not going to get the chance. There goes the Pterodactyl Thief. And even though she's immune to melee damage, it's not going to do anything because she's not immune to projectile damage. But that was probably